There's a lot of things that people may be surprised about, that they don't know what it takes to put on an event like this. A lot of people think we work 10 weeks out of the year, and that couldn't be more farther from the truth. We literally work year-round on the celebration of fine art in all different capacities, you know, marketing, planning, artist relationships, customer relationships, and then of course the building of the site. When we come to a brand new site, the first thing we do is we put a lot of infrastructure in: water, sewer, electric. We put an asphalt pad down that the tent sits on top of. Lots of plumbing and things like that are involved in taking a site that looks like just an empty lot year-round, but then when we put the show up, everything's dialed in, even to the degree of the electrical that goes to all the walls where the artists display. Everything's underground. So there's a lot of infrastructure that's never seen, but very important to the success of the show. And then again, just the way that it takes so much planning and to properly execute such a high quality event, where people can really come and just walk in the tent and within 10 steps or so forget all about being in a tent, because the art surrounding them is so dynamic and fabulous, and the experience just takes them away. There's so many things about the setting up with the walls that go in and how we do that. And years back when it first started, my dad, Tom Morrow, and my husband, Jake, designed the structure that holds the walls together and the way to put them together and then be able to take them apart and stack them and store them every year. So there's so many things that go into it. And we have a home office over in the air park where I work year round, and there's a warehouse in Scottsdale Airport where we store everything. And there's a lot to store between the tent, the walls, the electrical, all of the furnishings that goes into the cafe equipment, the office equipment. So there's a lot, but it's worth it when we get it all put up and people walk in and the artists are all standing there working so people can watch them and talk to them, and really creates that magic. So all the little details make the magic happen. The artists, when they arrive, they'll have two basic walls. We provide all the foundational walls, the electric, the general lighting, and then the artists are allowed to build out their studio in a way that will best reflect their work and showcase their work. So some artists really go all out with a feature wall, some artists do drywall, some artists keep it pretty basic, and then they do all their lighting. The artists have one full week for setup, and that's everything from getting the studios prepared the way they want them, putting their lighting up, bringing their art in and hanging it. But the uniqueness of each environment is part of what people like about here, is that they can really see the personality of the artist, and they can enjoy their work in an environment that showcases that the way they want to. And there's a lot of building, and we have a agreement with Home Depot. We have for probably 20 years, where artists can pre-order materials that they may need, whether it be drywall or paint or brushes, lighting, light bulbs, all that. And Home Depot will pre-deliver that to their studio the day before the artists arrive, so that when they get here, they can get right to work. So there's a lot of planning on our end for getting the basic structure up, a lot of planning for the artists too, so they have to think about what they're going to bring as far as inventory and how to display it. And we all know lighting's really important, so there's a lot that goes into it. We take an empty lot and turn it into an amazing art gallery year over year, an experience that people will have like none other. It's like building a village. Putting away a 40,000 square foot structure tent takes a lot of time, and it has to be precisely, cleaned, folded, put away, stacked and stored. So we have a pretty big warehouse with pallet racking and everything stacked. Last thing in is the first thing out. So loading that warehouse properly is key, so that we can get to what we need when we need it. So the first thing we do after moving everything back to our office is we go through all the applications to jury the returning artists in and assign their studio spaces. And usually that takes most of April. So we're sorting through all that, assigning the studio spaces, and at the same time we're kind of prepping for the next year already while the guys are finishing tearing down and putting away the tent. And then once we get everybody in place who's going to return, we do open up the celebration to be juried for new artists who wish to join us. So usually by September 15th, the show is completely filled. In the meantime, we're working on all of our marketing that goes into promoting the show for the following year. Literally all summer long, I'm working with my designers, my marketing team, placing ads in our publications nationwide. We work with probably 15 different publications, and we want to make sure that we convey the great message that the celebration of fine art is coming. And so that takes quite a bit of time, and then working with my PR team and getting the word out to the media. Then we start working on all of the elements that go into putting the show together. So I have a big spreadsheet that has all of the items that need to be ordered, when they need to be ordered, who I need to contact, what the installation date is. A lot of these things have a really long lead time. Seems to get longer each year, so especially if permits are involved, there's a process that we have to go through for all the different permits we need to carry to put on such an event as this. So it's just being organized is really key, and making sure I can check all the boxes off so that we can be sure we're putting together the best show we can for our collectors and for our artists.
I paint all summer, so when it's hot and miserable outside, I'm in my nice air-conditioned studio just painting away. So I'm preparing pretty much all year. As soon as celebration's over, I start painting for the next year. I never stop.
When we leave here, it's funny because we tell people like, I'll see you next year, but by the time the show's over, it's not next year. It's 9 months away. Instead of usually on a weekend show, you say see you same time next year, but this is like see you in 9 months. So I'm thinking about it all the time, what I'm going to bring to the show. You know, you have your wall space kind of in your mind, or what you've done previously, and you know that you need some larger pieces on what walls, and that's kind of how it goes. So you have to have that inventory ready for the show when it comes around.
One of the things I love the most about bringing the celebration of fine art to fruition and opening it up to the public every year is getting to introduce that year's artist to the public. It's so much fun to do the jury process and put the show together and lay it out in an organized manner. And then when the art lovers come in and they connect with the people who are here, it just brings such great joy, because really the whole concept is about bringing art lovers and artists together and connecting them in a way that they can't do anywhere else. So when the visitors and collectors start coming in, it's just like a big happy party, because everybody's so excited to see what's new and to feel the energy and to really enjoy being part of that creative process. So the process of jurying for the show involves, first of all, at the end of a show, we invite the artists who would like to come back to submit an application and jury back into the show. And that's just done to keep things top-notch and high quality, and also, again, for people who are contributing to the overall community. We are always jurying for quality. We want to find the highest level of art we can within each different genre, but we also jury for variety. And we are definitely well known for that, so that a group of people can come and everybody might like something different in art, and they can all walk away saying that was a great experience. So we'll have everything from abstract contemporary to realism to wildlife to portraiture, and across all spectrums of medium, from glass to metal to bronze to stone, and all different types of painting, so that people really will have a symphony of experience here with the types of art that they can watch up close and see how it's all done. But again, the jury, we're looking for quality, variety, and then the commitment of the artist to be here, because it's not a place where you're going to just drop your work off and go home. This is an interactive environment where it's all about meeting and connecting with the artist. So it's a big commitment for them. Many of our artists travel from various parts of the country and rent places, or some of them have second homes here, but it's a big commitment to be here for the time, including setup and tear down, all told. That's like a 12-week commitment. But many artists, find it's really worth their time because of the rich relationships and the success that they experience here. Can't be found anywhere else. The sense of community that we have here is incredible. I really don't know how to describe it. It's like the way that the artists connect with each other, lift each other up. It's almost like, in one regard, it could be considered a competitive environment, but really the camaraderie and the community is something like I've never seen anywhere else, where they're equally as happy for somebody else having success or selling as they are for themselves. The community and the magic that happens with the interaction and the connection, and that's really our tagline, is where art lovers and artists connect, because that's really what it's all about, is bringing people together and connecting and providing an environment where no matter what's happening outside of this tent, people can come in here and feel that experience that just lifts them up and makes them forget about all the stuff they might be worrying about. There's just that joy, and again, watching people's lives impacted in such a positive and beautiful way has really brought so much joy to our lives.